cagey out there, isn't it? Just feeling each other out, I suppose?
It is. Auckland City are patiently probing, trying to find space between Bay Olympics midfield and defense.
Still figuring each other out, aren't they? Feels like a chess match.
Both sides probing, seeking an early advantage. Auckland City holding a slightly deeper midfield, inviting Bay Olympic forward.
Bit of a stalemate developing, Mike. Not much breaking the lines yet.
They're both probing, John. Auckland City's holding shape well, looking to exploit spaces on the counter as Bay Olympic push forward.
Not much happening, is it? Feels like we're just watching the grass grow.
Bay Olympic are holding a deep defensive shape, inviting Auckland City forward to probe for gaps. They're being patient.
City are pressing high, but Bay Olympic are finding space out wide to relieve pressure. It's an interesting tactical battle unfolding.
Indeed. Notice how City's midfielders are adjusting their off-the-ball runs to counter Bay Olympic's quick switches. They're looking for that breakthrough pass.
Just waiting for someone to spark something here, Mike. The midfield is a bit congested.
They're probing, John. Notice how Auckland City are subtly shifting their defensive line to contain Bay Olympic's wider advances.
Bay Olympic are holding a really solid defensive shape, frustrating City's forward momentum.
They're compacting the midfield well, forcing City into wider areas where they've struggled to create overloads.
Bit of a cagey affair, this. Not much to shout about yet.
City are building from the back, looking to find space. Bay Olympic are compact, making it difficult to penetrate.
Not much happening out there, is it? Really holding shape, though, Auckland.
They're certainly patient, watching the wide players closely, looking for that overload opportunity.
Still finding their feet, aren't they? Feels like we're waiting for someone to spark something.
City are probing down the right, looking to isolate their winger. Bay Olympic have numbers back, though, making it difficult.
Possession seems pretty even, but neither side can quite find that killer pass yet.
Auckland City are probing, looking to exploit space on the flanks. Bay Olympic are holding their shape well defensively.
Wonder if either of these teams has a secret weapon planned for the second half? Seems a bit cagey.
Auckland's midfield is patiently probing, looking to exploit those half spaces. Bay Olympic are holding a tight defensive shape.
A lot of probing, but not much penetration yet. Feels like they're waiting for a mistake.
I'm noticing Auckland City are shifting their defensive lines slightly higher when possession is in the Bay Olympic half. It's an interesting adjustment.
Just a bit of a lull here, isn't it? Wondering if someone will try a bit of individual magic to break this deadlock.
They're both being patient, trying to find gaps. City's wingers are hugging the touchline, looking to stretch the Bay Olympic defense.
Anything brewing out there, Mike? Feels like we're just passing it around the back. Not much happening out there, is it? A bit of a stalemate so far.
Auckland City are holding their shape well, John. Bay Olympic need to stretch them wide to find space between the lines. City are building from the back patiently, trying to draw Bay Olympic out. Their midfield's compact.
Can we get some action? This passing around the back is making me sleepy.
City are patiently building from defense, looking to exploit Olympic's midfield shape. They're probing for an opening.
These midfield battles are intense, but neither side is really breaking through.
Auckland City are patiently building from the back, looking for an opening on the flanks, while Bay Olympic are keeping their defensive shape tight.
Auckland keeping it tight at the back, but Bay Olympic are probing.
City are content to concede space out wide, looking to exploit diagonal passes when the opportunity arises.
Still a bit cagey out there, Mike. No real penetration from either side just yet.
Both teams are probing, John. Auckland are quite compact defensively, forcing Bay Olympic wide. They'll look for a quick transition if they win the ball back.
Not a whole lot happening out there, is there? Feels like everyone's just feeling each other out.
They're certainly patient. Auckland City seems to be dropping deeper when Bay Olympic has possession, looking to exploit spaces on the counter.
Feels like we're waiting for someone to blink here, Mike. Just a few misplaced passes in midfield. Just looking at how Bay Olympic are pushing up, Mike. Are they trying to exploit a gap there?
Bay Olympic are pressing high, forcing Auckland City into wider areas. They're struggling to find their midfield tempo.
Just can't seem to find that killer pass, can they? Frustrating seeing the ball go from end to end without a real threat.
They're certainly trying to stretch City's midfield. Notice how their wingers are drifting inside, creating space for overlapping fullbacks.
A bit of a lull, isn't it? Both sides probing without much penetration.
Auckland City are building patiently from the back, trying to draw Bay Olympic out. Notice how their midfield is shifting to create space.
Still 0-0, Mike. Feels like both teams are just feeling each other out, eh?
City are building from the back well, but Bay Olympic's midfield is compressing space effectively, denying clean progression.
Come on, lads! A bit more urgency needed from Bay Olympic going forward here.
They are, John. Auckland City is patiently building from the back, looking for that opening through midfield. Bay Olympic are compact defensively.
Not much happening out there, is it? Feels like both teams are just feeling each other out for now.
Auckland City are very organized defensively, John. They're limiting space well in midfield, forcing Olympic wide.
City are really probing down the left, but Bay Olympic's shape looks solid defensively.
Auckland City are patiently building from the back, John, looking for an opening through Bay Olympic's compact midfield shape.
Possession's a bit like a game of chess, isn't it? Just waiting for a pawn to make a move.
They're keeping their midfield compact, John. Auckland are struggling to find gaps between the lines.
And it is Auckland City who strike first. A clinical finish has put them in front, the early pressure paying off for the visitors.
They're both keeping their defensive shape well, though. Notice how the wingers are tucking in to help the midfielders.
This midfield battle is getting intense. Lots of sideways passes.
Bay Olympic are forming a compact defensive shape, forcing City wide. Their fullbacks are pushing up, though. City are controlling the tempo, recycling possession nicely. Bay Olympic look a bit hesitant to commit too many forward.
Just needs a spark. Let's see if anyone can unlock this defense. It's all a bit predictable out there. Still a bit cagey out there, Mike. Feels like we're waiting for someone to blink.
Bay Olympic are holding their defensive shape well. Auckland City trying to find that elusive opening through the channels.
Just waiting for something to happen here, Mike. Feels like a chess match.
They're both probing, John, but City shape is really compact, denying Olympic easy pathways forward.
Not much happening out there, is it? Feels like we're just waiting for a spark.
Bay Olympic are holding a disciplined shape, denying City easy entry. They'll need a moment of individual brilliance or a defensive lapse.
Auckland's midfield looks solid, really controlling the tempo right now. Bay Olympic need a spark.
They are holding their shape well, forcing Olympic wide. City's fullbacks are key to their defensive structure and quick transitions.
Bit of head tennis developing in the middle third, Mike. Anyone looking to unlock this?
Bay Olympic are trying to stretch City wide, but their fullbacks are disciplined. It's a tight game of chess.
Still no breakthrough, Mike. Bay Olympic are trying to stretch them, but it's all a bit predictable.
They're building patiently, John. Auckland are holding their shape well, denying space in behind their defense.
Just a lot of sideways passing from Bay Olympic, isn't it? Needs a spark.
They're trying to stretch Auckland's shape, but City's defensive shape is holding well, waiting for an opportunity.
Auckland controlling the tempo, Mike. They're probing, but Bay's shape is holding firm.
Indeed, John, City are recycling possession well down the flanks, looking to stretch Bay's midfield. Their fullbacks are pushing high.
Just a bit of a lull, isn't it, Mike? Wondering if anyone will try something a little different.
They're both probing, John. Auckland's midfield shape is keeping Bay Olympic's wingers honest, preventing easy switches of play.
Not much happening out there, is it, Mike? Feels like they're just probing.
They're certainly patient, John. Auckland shifting possession, looking for gaps in Bay Olympic's defensive shape.
A lot of shifting and probing, but not much end product yet.
Bay Olympic are trying to stretch Auckland's defense wide, forcing their midfielders into deeper positions.
Unbelievable! Auckland City double their lead. They have absolutely crushed Bay Olympic here. The perfect start for the champions. This midfield battle is intense, but where's the killer pass coming from, Mike?
Auckland City are patient, probing for openings. Their defensive shape is compact, making it tough for Olympic to break through.
Auckland City just controlling the tempo, keeping Bay Olympic chasing shadows, waiting for a spark.
They're patiently probing, John. Notice how their wingers are tucking in, inviting pressure, before looking for the diagonal pass.
Not much to report here, Mike. Just a lot of passing in their own halves.
City seem happy to probe patiently, stretching Bay Olympic's shape. They're waiting for an opening rather than forcing it.
Any joy spotting a breakthrough, Mike? Feels like they're just passing it around the back.
Auckland City are patiently building from defense, John, probing for gaps. Bay Olympic are compact, but a single slip could open things up.
This midfield battle's getting a bit cagey, isn't it? Waiting for a spark.
Bay Olympic are trying to flood the wings, but Auckland City's fullbacks are holding their shape well.
Not much happening out there, is there? Feels like they're just passing it around. Three nil to Auckland City. This is absolute domination. They've killed this game already.
Auckland City are really comfortable keeping possession, probing for openings. Bay Olympic are compact, waiting for a turnover.
City are just knitting it together nicely, aren't they? Feels like we're waiting for the next surge.
They're certainly patient, John, keeping their shape, looking for the precise moment to exploit Olympics' slightly stretched defensive lines.
Waiting for something to spark, eh, Mike? City looking comfortable controlling the tempo.
They're patiently probing, John. Notice how their wingers are holding width, stretching Bay Olympic's defense.
City seem content to keep it at the back, not pushing forward much.
They're patiently recycling possession, looking for an opening. See how the wingers are holding width, drawing their defenders out.
Bit of a lull, isn't it? They're just passing it sideways out there.
City's midfield shape is really compact, forcing Olympic wide. They're patiently probing for an opening.
Not much action, is there? City are just passing it around the back, almost inviting pressure.
They're certainly dictating the tempo. Bay Olympic are struggling to close down effectively, leaving those passing lanes open.
They're just pinging it around the back, aren't they? No real urgency.
Auckland are certainly controlling possession, happy to draw Bay Olympic out of shape before probing.
Auckland City are so dominant in midfield, dictating everything.
Their central midfielders are consistently finding pockets of space, forcing Bay Olympic into defensive shapes.
Bit of a lull here, Mike. Wonder if the coaches are drawing up new plans or just having a cuppa.
City's midfield shape is really compact, John. They're forcing Olympic wide, limiting their central penetration options effectively.
Just feeling the tempo dip, Mike. Wondering if Bay Olympic can inject some urgency.
They're holding their shape well defensively, but struggling to build sustained attacks from deep. Auckland's midfield is denying them clear entry passes.
Almost half-time now. Feels like they're just passing it around without much urgency.
City are settling into a very comfortable possession rhythm, looking for openings without overcommitting.
Auckland City just happy to keep possession, probing for openings without much urgency.
They're certainly dictating the rhythm, keeping Bay Olympic defenders occupied and spread out.
Possession's a bit of a stalemate. They're not really pressing hard, are they?
Auckland's holding shape defensively, forcing Bay Olympic wide. They're patiently waiting for a turnover.
Bit of a lull here, isn't it? Almost time for a breather.
City are patient, waiting for Bay Olympic to overcommit. Their defensive shape is very compact, making it difficult to penetrate.
Wonder if they've got a plan B if this continues.
City are patient, shifting the ball wide to draw out Olympic's compact defense, waiting for the right moment to exploit space.
Auckland City are just controlling things, aren't they? Very patient build-up.
They are. Notice how City's midfield three are constantly shifting, creating pockets of space for their wide attackers to exploit.
What a first half we've witnessed! Bay Olympic 0, Auckland City 3. Auckland City holding the edge, but Bay Olympic will come out firing in the second 45. Players to watch in the second half. So what happens next? Auckland City will look to protect their lead, but Bay Olympic have no choice but to throw everything forward. This sets up perfectly for a thrilling second 45 minutes. Don't go anywhere! Stay tuned! The second half kicks off shortly! Still waiting for something to spark, Mike. This midfield battle's a bit too neat. A bit cagey out there, Mike. Just ticking the clock down to the break, I reckon. Well, that was a rather uneventful first half. Hopefully, the second brings some more excitement.
Bay Olympic are struggling to break Auckland's compact shape. They need wider attacking options to stretch them.
Just the one goal separates them at the break. Hope for more action in the second half.
Indeed, John, both sides are probing, but City's midfield shape is stifling Olympic's forward forays. They're patient.
Still a bit of a stalemate, isn't it? Not much to report from midfield.
They're patiently building from the back, looking for that perfect opening. It's a strategic approach, waiting for Bay Olympic to overcommit.
Bit of a lull, isn't it? Hope we see some fireworks in the second half.
City are comfortably controlling possession, probing for openings. Bay Olympic are disciplined, but need to find a way to break their defensive shape.
Well, that halftime whistle blew us out of nowhere, didn't it, Mike? This second half has been rather uneventful. Not much to report, is there? Auckland City are just cruising at 3-0.
Auckland City are comfortable with possession, patiently probing for openings. Bay Olympic are holding their shape well defensively.
Auckland City are just letting Bay Olympic have it, but never threatening the box. Strange.
City are controlling possession well, John. Their midfield triangle is consistently finding space to build. Olympic need to tighten their shape.
Still too much possession being surrendered in midfield, Mike. Need to tighten that up.
Indeed, John. Auckland City have settled into a very controlled possession game, happy to pass it around and see out the half. Their midfield shape is excellent.
Wish something would spark here, Mike. This lull feels endless.
They've been clinical, a especially in those wide areas. Bay Olympic's midfield is struggling to track their runners effectively.
Bit of a lull, isn't it? Feels like they're just passing it around the back, waiting for the whistle.
They're content to concede space, John, happy to absorb pressure and spring counterattacks when the opportunity arises.
Auckland City looking very comfortable, keeping that shape nicely. Just need a bit of incision now.
Agreed, John. Auckland City's midfield press is relentless, forcing Bay Olympic into predictable wide channels.
Just waiting for that whistle, Mike. Bay Olympic need a miracle now.
They're patiently probing, John, looking for that one opening to exploit their midfield shape.
Auckland's midfield is just so compact. Bay Olympic can't find any space.
They're certainly building from deep, John. Notice how their center backs are widening to draw the press, creating space for the midfielders.
A lot of sideways passing from Bay Olympic. They need to find a way forward.
Their midfield three are cleverly controlling space, preventing Bay Olympic from building through the middle effectively.
Bit of a stalemate out there, isn't it? Auckland just controlling things.
They've struggled to break City's midfield press, John. Lots of neat passing, but no penetration.
Well, that first half certainly had its moments. Auckland looking clinical, though, aren't they?
They're certainly controlling the tempo, keeping their defensive shape tight and exploiting channels when the opportunity arises.
Not much to report, is there? City looking comfortable with that lead.
They're struggling to break down Auckland's compact shape. Their wingers are deep, making it hard to find space.
Possession feels so predictable. Auckland just patiently recycling it.
They're patient, John, keeping shape and looking for those pockets of space to exploit. Bay Olympic need to shift quicker.
Bit of a lull, isn't it? Auckland are just comfortably seeing this out.
They've been effective in their transitions, John. Bay Olympic are struggling to contain their wide players when they commit forward.
Auckland's midfield seems to be really dictating the tempo, Mike. They're constantly finding those little pockets of space.
They're dictating the tempo well, keeping Bay Olympic pinned back defensively. Patience will be key for them in the second half.
Not much to report, eh? Just a few passes back and forth, waiting for something to spark.
They're certainly dictating the tempo, controlling midfield space effectively with their midfield shape.
Auckland's efficiency is the story. They've punished every Bay Olympic slip-up.
They're patient, John, letting Bay Olympic push, then exploiting the space left behind with quick transitions.
Bit of a lull, isn't it? Hoping for some sparks after the break.
They are, John. Their central midfielders are cleverly drifting wide to pull Bay Olympic's defensive shape apart, creating lanes for the wingers.
Not much happening now, is there? Wonder what halftime chat will be.
City are quite content to hold shape, inviting Olympic forward before looking to exploit space with quick transitions.
You feel like City's just patiently waiting for the slightest gap, John. They're so settled.
They've really exploited those spaces down the flanks when Bay Olympic push too high, keeping their shape defensively.
This scoreline feels a bit harsh on Bay Olympic, considering they've had good spells of possession.
They're certainly settling into their shape, Bay Olympic, looking to absorb pressure and counter with precision when the opportunity arises.
What a first half! Auckland City have simply blown Bay Olympic away. 3 goals to the good and looking utterly unstoppable. The champions are here to make a statement.
City holding shape defensively, Bay trying to force it through midfield. Look for switches of play soon.
Just need a bit of spark here, Mike. Bay Olympic looking a bit lost in possession.
Absolutely. Their midfield triangle is really dictating the tempo, ensuring possession is always controlled and players are perfectly positioned for counterattacks.
Can't believe how little action there's been since the break. Just a lot of passing around the back.
True, John. City's defensive shape has been so compact, though, forcing them wide and limiting clear chances. Their counterattacks are lethal.
Not much happening out there, Mike. City seem happy to just keep it ticking over.
They're struggling to find their rhythm. City's midfield pressing is really stifling any buildup, forcing them wide.
A bit of a lull here, Mike. City are comfortably dictating terms.
City are patiently probing, keeping possession to tire Bay Olympics midfield. They're looking for that over-the-top ball.
Auckland City are really controlling the tempo, aren't they? Just recycling possession.
They're certainly controlling possession, John, patiently probing for openings. Bay Olympic are holding their shape well defensively, though.
Just a lot of sideways passing from City. Anything to report, Mike?
They're patient, keeping good shape, waiting for Olympic to overcommit, and then exploiting the space with quick transitions. They're patiently probing, waiting for a gap. Their midfield shapes up nicely to cut off quick transitions.
This midfield is just shuffling the ball, isn't it? Where's the incisiveness? Bit of a lull, Mike. Let's see if Bay Olympic can find a spark, eh?
They're patiently probing, John. Bay Olympic are compact, waiting for that turnover. It's a classic territorial battle unfolding.
Auckland looking comfortable, really controlling the tempo here, waiting for them to unlock that defense again.
They're looking to draw Bay Olympic forward, creating space for the wingers on the turnover. Patient build-up.
Bit of a chess match out there, Mike. Just probing for an opening.
They're probing, John. Auckland City are compacting well, forcing them wide. Patience is key for both sides now.
Anything brewing, Mike. Feels feels like they're just passing it around the back for fun.
They're patiently building from the back, drawing Bay Olympic out. Their fullbacks are pushing high, creating width for attacking overloads.
Bit of a lull here, isn't it? City just passing it around at the back.
City's defensive shape is so compact, John. Bay Olympic are struggling to find those pockets of space between the lines.
Auckland's keeping it tight, but Bay Olympic need to find some space.
They're patiently building from the defense, John, drawing Bay Olympic forward before looking for pockets of space to exploit.
City's midfield seems content to just circulate it, almost like they're waiting for a mistake.
They're patient, building from defense. Bay Olympic's pressing structure is compact, forcing them wide.
Not much happening, is it? Looks like everyone's just waiting for a mistake.
They're shifting their shape, trying to exploit that left flank. City are disciplined, though, holding their defensive structure well.
This ball movement is a bit slow, Mike. Are Bay Olympic struggling to find space, or just not trying?
They are, John. Notice how their defensive midfielders drop deep, creating a compact shape, inviting pressure, then looking to exploit space on the counter.
City are just stroking it around now, not looking for that killer pass.
They're certainly probing, but Bay Olympic are holding their shape well defensively. A patient approach from Auckland City.
You'd think with a 3-goal cushion, City might push a bit more, wouldn't you?
Auckland's defensive shape is really compact, John. Bay Olympic need to stretch them or find a quick transition to unlock them.
Bit of a lull here. City happy to just keep it in their own half for now.
They're certainly controlling the tempo. You can see them probing for openings, patiently wearing down Olympic.
They're just passing it around the back, aren't they? Almost a bit too comfortable.
They're comfortable controlling the tempo, John. Their midfield shape is suffocating any Olympic attack before it truly forms.
Auckland City are so comfortable, almost too much so at times.
They're patiently building, John. Notice how their midfielders are spreading wide, creating space for the wingers to exploit when the chance arises.
You feel like Auckland City are just patiently probing for that next opening, Mike. They've been so controlled. Not a lot happening out there, is it, Mike? Feels like we're waiting for something to spark.
Auckland are certainly controlling the tempo. See how their midfield three are constantly shifting to create passing lanes, keeping Bay Olympic penned in.
Come on, lads, let's inject some urgency. Needs a spark.
They're maintaining their shape well, patiently waiting for an opening to exploit Bay Olympic's disorganization.
This midfield battle is really starting to dictate the tempo, isn't it, Mike?
Absolutely, John. They're building play from the back, drawing Bay Olympic players out of position. Notice how their midfielders are drifting wide to create central space.
Auckland City are just so comfortable on the ball, dictating the tempo.
They're patiently building from the back, John, looking to exploit those pockets of space. Auckland City are leaving.
Not much happening out there, is there? They're just passing it around at the back.
Bay Olympic are struggling to connect passes in midfield. Their shape is a bit stretched, leaving gaps. Auckland City seem content to keep possession deep, probing for openings. Bay Olympic are holding their shape well defensively. Indeed, John, Auckland's midfield triangle is consistently overloading the flanks, creating space for their wingers to exploit.
This midfield battle is like watching paint dry, isn't it? Any sign of a spark, Mike?
They're consistently overloading the flanks, stretching Bay Olympic and creating those pockets of space in central areas.
The ball's just being shuttled around the back for Auckland. A bit of a lull, wouldn't you say?
Auckland City are patiently building from deep. Bay Olympics' press is a little disjointed, leaving gaps in midfield.
Bit of a lull, eh? Feel like they're just passing it around for the sake of it. Just waiting for a spark, aren't we? City are patient, but you feel a breakthrough is inevitable if Bay can't find a way to disrupt them. City looking comfortable, just waiting for an opening now. Bay Olympic needs some invention.
Auckland are patiently building from the back. Bay Olympic are compact, but it leaves spaces in behind their midfield if they commit too many.
You can feel the tension building, even with the scoreline. Bay Olympic need a spark.
They're patiently building, John, drawing Bay Olympic forward, looking for a pocket to exploit with those wide players.
Still a bit cagey out there, isn't it? Seems like a midfield battle at the moment.
Auckland's shape is very compact defensively. Bay Olympic are struggling to find any central penetration, keeping them wide.
Right, City have this sewn up, haven't they? Just passing it around the back now.
They're holding shape well, but Auckland are patiently probing, keeping possession high and looking for the right moment to exploit space.
Bit of a lull here, isn't it? City looking comfortable, but Bay Olympic need to find something.
They're trying to stretch the City defense wide, but Auckland's midfield compacts well, denying them space between the lines.
They're just passing it around the back again, isn't it? Waiting for something to happen.
Auckland's shape is solid, John. They're patiently allowing Bay Olympic possession, looking for that precise moment to exploit a gap.
Auckland's midfield seems to be finding those pockets again. Can Bay Olympic plug those gaps?
They're certainly controlling the tempo, John. Notice how their midfielders are subtly shifting to invite pressure, then exploit the gaps.
Auckland are just patiently probing, waiting for an opening. This could go all day! Feels like a bit of a lull, doesn't it? Just watching the grass grow out there at times.
They're keeping their shape well, John, just struggling to break down City's midfield press when they try to build. City's midfield shape is very compact, John. They're denying Bay Olympic clear avenues into central areas, forcing them wide. City are really controlling the tempo now, recycling possession effectively. Notice how their wingers are staying wide, stretching Bay Olympic's defense.
Not much happening out there, is it? Feels a bit like watching paint dry.
They're shifting effectively, John. Notice how their wide players tuck in, creating passing lanes between the lines for City. They're certainly controlling the tempo, John. Notice how their fullbacks are tucking in slightly, allowing wingers more freedom to isolate defenders.
Auckland just keeping it ticking over, aren't they? Bay Olympic look a bit lost for ideas currently. They're just passing it around the back, aren't they? Feels like a training drill.
Auckland are settling into a rhythm now, John. Their shape is compact, allowing them to recycle possession efficiently without much pressure.
And Bay Olympic having a glimmer of hope. They've grabbed one back and the crowd here is roaring back to life. It's 1-3! Yeah, they're suffocating them. Just need a spark to find that fourth goal and put this to bed.
They're shifting positions well, though. Auckland City are finding gaps in Bay Olympic's midfield shape.
Just a bit of patient build-up from City now, trying to draw Bay Olympic out.
City are patient, shifting the play. Notice how their midfield three are constantly adjusting to create passing lanes.
Not a lot happening out there, is it, Mike? City seem content to just hold on to the ball.
They're patiently probing for an opening, John. Notice how the midfield shapes up, creating triangles to draw out Bay Olympic's defense.
City looking comfortable, just probing for an opening now. Anyone in particular catching your eye, Mike? Feels like a bit of a lull, doesn't it? Hoping for a spark.
It's clever. They're widening the pitch to create spaces, forcing Bay Olympics midfielders to track wider runs. They're looking to stretch Bay Olympic. See how their midfield three are shifting, trying to open up space for the shifting.
Just keeping it ticking over, aren't they? Not much urgency from either side right now.
Their midfield trio is so compact, John. They're forcing Bay Olympic wide, controlling the tempo, and creating space for the wingers to exploit.
This midfield battle is a bit like a chess match, isn't it? Very positional.
Bay Olympic are holding their shape well defensively, trying to spring a quick counter. City are just circulating, waiting for an opening.
Auckland City looking to be very patient with this possession now. Just feels something needs to give.
City are patiently building from the back, using the full width. Bay Olympic are holding a compact shape, waiting for a turnover.
Not much happening out there, is it? Bay Olympic struggling to find a way through.
Indeed, Auckland are patiently building from the back, exploiting the pockets of space their wide forwards are creating.
Just ticking the clock down, aren't they? City seem content to just keep it.
They're really stretching Bay Olympic wide. Notice how their fullbacks are hugging the touchline, creating those central passing lanes.
Bit of a lull, isn't it? Still, City seem happy to just keep it moving in midfield.
City are really compacting their midfield. Look how they're funneling Olympics attacks wide.
Auckland City are really controlling the midfield now, keeping possession well.
They're patiently recycling possession, drawing Bay Olympic out, looking for those wider channels to exploit.
Just admiring Auckland's midfield press, Mike. They're so compact, closing down passing lanes effectively.
They're patiently probing, John. Notice how their midfielders are creating little pockets of space to receive the ball.
Not much breaking the lines right now, is there? Feels like a bit of a stalemate.
They've settled into a nice rhythm, switching play effectively and stretching Bay Olympics defense wide.
Can we liven things up a bit? This possession for Olympic feels a bit pedestrian.
Agreed, John. Notice how their defensive line pushes up whenever Bay Olympic gain possession in their own half, squeezing the space.
Unbelievable! Auckland City have just crushed any faint hope Bay Olympic had of a comeback. The champions have struck again, and the score is now 1-4.
Bay Olympic are holding their shape well defensively, but struggling to find that incisive pass to break through City's midfield structure.
Still a bit of head tennis out there, Mike. Not much attacking intent from either side right now.
They're certainly patient, John. Notice how their fullbacks are tucking inside, almost creating an overload in the center.
Auckland City are just managing this game now, aren't they? Keeping possession nicely.
City seem content to manage this lead, keeping their shape defensively. Bay Olympic are struggling to find space between the lines.
A lot of passing around the midfield. Anyone looking to break the lines here?
They've settled into a really comfortable midfield shape, drawing Bay Olympic out wide. City are controlling the tempo perfectly.
You feel like they're just probing, looking for that one opening, Mike. It's been a while since any real action.
Auckland City seem content to recycle possession, patiently probing for openings. Bay Olympic need to press higher to disrupt their rhythm.
Bit of a lull, isn't it? Feel like both teams are just waiting for the final whistle.
They're certainly stretching the Bay Olympic defense wide, John. Notice how their fullbacks are consistently pushing up, creating that overload on the flanks.
This is getting a bit processional now, isn't it, Mike? Can we just get some action?
Bay Olympic are trying to stretch Auckland's defense wide, but City's midfield shape is really compact, limiting those channels.
Really needs a spark, this is. The ball's just circulating without purpose at the moment.
Auckland City are happy to keep possession and manage the game, John. Bay Olympic are struggling to find any attacking rhythm.
Auckland City are just keeping it tight, aren't they? Not pushing too hard.
Auckland City are happy to let Bay Olympic have it deep, compressing space and waiting for a turnover to launch their next attack.
Just passing it around back there, aren't they? Need to push on.
They're happy to see the game out. Bay Olympic trying to find a way through, but City's shape is very solid defensively now.
Bit of a lull here, isn't it? Just feels like they're waiting for the final whistle.
Auckland's midfield is very compact, making Bay Olympic's build-up predictable. They're waiting for a mistake.
They're probing for an opening, but Bay Olympic's shape is holding firm. Just need a spark.
City are happy to control possession deep, drawing Olympic out. They're looking for those precise diagonal switches to exploit space.
Auckland's defense is so organized, even with this lead. Bay Olympic finding it tough to break them down.
City are patiently shifting their wingers wider, trying to stretch those defensive lines further. It's a subtle adjustment.
The ball's just circulating out wide. Not much incision being shown by either side at the moment.
City's midfield shape is really compact. They're forcing Olympic wide, limiting their central penetration and making it easy to recover possession.
Just a bit of keep ball here, Mike. Not much happening at the sharp end.
City are happy to let Bay Olympic have it, really. They're just compacting the middle, making sure nothing gets through.
Feels like we're just waiting for the final whistles here, Mike. Not much happening.
City are happy to maintain this shape, controlling the tempo. Bay Olympic are struggling to break that midfield press.
Auckland City are just seeing this out now, aren't they? Almost a training exercise.
City are just managing this game now, John. Bay Olympic are trying to force something, but their shape is making it difficult to break through.
The lads are just passing it around the back now. A bit of a breather, perhaps.
They've certainly controlled the tempo since that third goal, John. Their midfield shape is allowing them to dictate possession comfortably.
Another quiet spell. Not much for us to get excited about right now, is there?
Auckland City are certainly controlling possession, looking to run down the clock and maintain that defensive shape.
A bit of a lull here, Mike. Feels like they're just trying to run the clock down now.
Auckland are maintaining their shape well, keeping Bay Olympic pinned back. Their midfield is exceptionally disciplined in this phase.
City seem to be comfortably seeing this one out, just keeping possession now.
They are, John. Auckland City are happy to keep it deep, drawing Bay Olympic out, looking for any final counter-attacking opportunities.
Possession's been locked down by Auckland City for a while now. Wonder if Bay Olympic can find a spark before the final whistle. Not much happening out there, is it? Just a bit of passing.
They're patiently building from the back, keeping Bay Olympic's shape stretched defensively, anticipating any potential late turnover.
Just a few minutes left now, really winding down this one.
They're holding shape well, patiently probing. City's midfield looks to be controlling the tempo, waiting for an opening.
Really holding on to that lead. Auckland City, their shape looks so solid.
Auckland's defense is holding shape well, keeping Olympic wide and forcing them into less threatening areas.
Auckland City are just stroking it around now, aren't they? Can Bay Olympic even get a touch?
Auckland City are keeping their shape well, inviting Bay Olympic forward to exploit the spaces.
Not much happening out there, is it? Feels like we're just waiting for the final whistle now!
They've certainly tightened things up defensively, John. Their midfielders are cleverly cutting off passing lanes.
They're just passing it around the back now, aren't they? Almost a bit too relaxed.
They're certainly patient, shifting the ball wide and drawing Bay Olympic out, looking to exploit any space that opens up late on.
Feels like we're just waiting for the final whistle now, Mike. City are comfortably controlling it.
Bay Olympic are struggling to regain possession. Auckland City are maintaining a compact shape, denying space in midfield effectively.
Auckland City really controlling the tempo now, just seeing out the win. The whistle goes! Auckland City are victorious! 4-1. The champions have sealed it. Now, can Bay Olympic find a late consolation? The tension is palpable. The crowd holds its breath.
Auckland are happy to see the clock run down. Their defensive shape has been superb, denying Bay Olympic any clear avenues forward.
Well, that's it then. A commanding win for Auckland City.
They've settled into a patient shape, John. Notice how their midfielders are constantly shifting, creating subtle passing lanes.
Well, that was a thoroughly convincing performance.